Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you just have other significant Gemini placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Gemini, a lot of downloads coming in for your reading today. I've actually been receiving messages for your reading since the last one that I did. All weekend basically I've been getting little snippets of the message for you, Gemini. And the first one, I was seeing this card, the gem, right? The gem, you, some aspect of you, it feels like. So the Virgo reading that I did last week, which I'll link above, might have a message in there for you. Because you're both ruled by Mercury. But there's also something there about because Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury, there's sort of a different perspective that's sort of coming in through that reading is kind of how it's feeling to me. But also with the gem card, it was coming through with the phrase, the gem in you, Gemini. The gem in you. There's something here about this gem energy. So that talks about uniqueness. It also talks about a diamond in the rough, that there is something about the rough energy, because you find the gem in the place where it does not belong, right? That's how it stands out. There's something about that in terms of your uniqueness that I feel is being highlighted because it is different from a group that you're in or something like that. Or it kind of feels like a group or an environment, perhaps, that your uniqueness is causing you to stand out amongst a group. And that is perhaps actually causing some discomfort because of this energy, I feel within you about so it feels kind of there's an element of fear there, fear of rejection from this group, right? Because it's there's perhaps an energy of wanting to fit in, wanting to be part of the group because the group is safety and comfort and belonging. Of course, those are all very basic human needs that I feel are being challenged in this time, because it's kind of there's an aspect of you, this gem energy within you, that wants to be different, is how it's kind of feeling, but that it's conflicting with the need to fit in, or the desire to belong, or a fear of rejection from a group is kind of how it's coming through. And so I was specifically seeing this card, right, for you, Gemini, where it's there is something that you desire, or something that you're being called to explore about your uniqueness that sets you apart from perhaps a group dynamic, for example. And the group could just be more than 3 people is how it's coming through. It doesn't have to be a large group. It feels just more than 3 people is a group to you, is how it's feeling. The other cards that were attached to this card, so I didn't pull the cards out, I didn't shuffle and then these cards flipped out. I was seeing these cards, so I pulled them out of the deck purposely. And the other 2 cards that were attached to this one were the Stone and the Eternal Child. And I feel there's something here about the Eternal Child energy, because I'm seeing this as being the Stone as being sort of almost something that is masking the gem within you. So this could be stability. It could be something that's very long-standing. It could be something that is not changing, that or maybe something that you don't want to change, or that if it does change, it would be very uncomfortable. And it's kind of like what's coming through with this is that the gem is on the inside of whatever the stone is. Like you have to chisel away at it is how it's coming through in order to get to the gem. But there's something here about like that's uncomfortable, right? There's something about like dismantling or destroying this stone energy that is like uncomfortable, right? Like it's unpleasant, or there's like you have to work through the layers is how it's coming through, which is really interesting that that's coming up. You have to work through the layers, because I feel like so the energy that I was actually getting was like almost like I feel like you're having like it kind of feels like a Kundalini awakening, right? Like it starts at the base. It starts at the root chakra and it sort of moves up the chakras. That's how it's coming through. So I feel like you have worked through the layers. It's almost like this gem energy is what's like pushing up from the root chakra is how it's feeling. Like it's like trying to break free of all the layers. And so it starts at the root, it goes up to the sacral chakra, and I feel like it's in the solar plexus here with the eternal child, which is interesting. Where it feels like it's getting stuck, it's almost like a feeling of like indigestion, or like it's like there's like a tension there, or there's like it could be anxiety as well. That could also be a solar plexus energy, and it's like getting stuck here. It like almost like a reverse heartburn, if that makes sense. Like and it's interesting, heartburn. There's something about like your heart energy. Like it feels kind of like it's getting stuck between your solar plexus and your heart, and then also your throat is being affected by that. It's like this energy is trying to like push its way out of you from the bottom up, it feels like, but it's getting stuck in the middle with this eternal child energy. So I'm going to leave that energy there. I feel like more will come out with that. But another card that I was seeing was this card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle, which says Perfect Storm, the courage to step into life. And I am going to read this one. So it says, an invitation to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. When the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent, time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness as the forces build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around, and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that those things we are most attached to that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us of our righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you will be. Ride the winds to your next destination, embrace the rain or snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you need to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem. Here, time is of the essence. It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm on in all its terrifying greatness, experiencing the fullness of life. You will succeed. Okay, and notice that there's this storm energy that's sort of right in the middle is how it's feeling. It feels like your middle chakra is like starting from solar plexus to heart to throat. And it's like it's like wanting to clear out something within those chakras that is perhaps causing turbulence is how it's coming through. there's something as well with anxiety, because it kind of, I feel like there's an energy here of not trusting your heart. Not trusting your heart about a certain opportunity is how it's coming through. And it could be something to do with the solar plexus of like, because the thing about anxiety, right, is usually, there's usually sort of a tie or connection to the future, where it's like wanting to get to the future faster, or fearing something about like the future energy, like what if I get there and there's something goes wrong? It's kind of like a what if energy that's tied to fear about the future. So there's something here about like, there may be sort of anxiety about like wanting to rush things, like I have to do this now or else I'm going to lose out on the opportunity. That could also be a fear. There could be a fear or like, it's not necessarily fear. Fear is more like worry. Like, what if I do the wrong thing? What if the choices that I'm making right now are going to negatively impact me in the future? What if this is not the right opportunity or something like that? What if this is not right, period? Like, it's kind of coming through like that of like a not trusting your heart or not trusting your will or not trusting your voice. Those three chakras are being affected, it feels like. But it feels kind of like there's... so the solution to that would be to trust. To trust. Easier said than done, of course. I feel like it's about trusting this gem energy. I feel like you know what this is already, or you have an idea about what this is, but there may be, I'm going to read that description, actually. I feel like there's information there. There's also something about like bringing something from your subconscious up to your conscious. And a very, very simple example would be breathing, right? Breathing is something that we all do subconsciously. We're not consciously aware of our breathing at all times, right? It just happens naturally. It's something about your nature that I feel like there's a... part of your nature is wanting to be free, but there may be energies in the middle here that are causing you to doubt this aspect of yourself. Anyways, the thing about breath is that it's subconscious on like when we're just going about our day, we're not conscious of like, okay, you have to breathe in now, you have to breathe out now, you have to breathe in now. It just happens naturally. However, you can bring that aspect up to your conscious mind, right? To consciously control your breathing. Okay, Gemini, sorry, there was an interruption, so I had to pause. I was going to read the gem card, but there was something about, I don't remember where I last left off, but I feel like it was something about like your breathing as being something that we're not consciously aware of 24 hours of the day, of course. It's just something that happens naturally. And there's something about it's subconscious, below our level of consciousness, but that we can bring it up to our level of consciousness by like becoming aware of it or like controlling one's breathing or something like that. So it's kind of like there's this energy here of like, maybe you're feeling anxious about something or that there's worry associated with a certain situation or a certain opportunity or something about timing as well as also coming in, like when is the right time to act, that kind of energy. there may be sort of like subconscious energies around that, like not being sure about when it is time to act, that kind of thing. And becoming more conscious about it, like bringing it up to the level of consciousness of becoming aware of the feelings of anxiety, which can help to regulate or modulate that feeling. Becoming aware of it is important. Anyways, so that's how it's coming through for you, Gemini. Okay, they're saying that I don't need to read the gem card. Okay, so I'm not going to read it. We're just going to let the other energies come through. There was a Taurus reading that I did a few months ago now. I will link it above. It's called Sunflowers in Amsterdam, which is coming through with a very positive message for you as well in that reading. So if you're interested, you can go watch it. Okay, Gemini, let's focus back on you. There is something here very significant about like timing, of having to wait for something, or like having to wait for the right opportunity to do something. And then when it is the right opportunity, actually acting on it or stepping into it is how it's coming through. But again, there kind of feels like there's this energy here of perhaps needing to take a couple of steadying breaths, Gemini. Or some moments of quiet to yourself in preparation for whatever this is. Ooh. Okay. Fire, Wildfire, Sun. That is a very interesting card, which I'm going to read. So, because there's this eye here, right? It's bringing in this energy as well again. The courage to step into life, but we'll see what this one says. Your emotions have taken over and you have exploded one too many times. Real talk, you have set too many fires to extinguish. Don't freak out or anything, because at this point there is nothing you can do about it. The fires cannot be put out. Any effort you direct into trying to quell the fires will only make them worse and get your butt charred. You have no choice but to let them run their course and burn themselves out in their own time. All you can do now is reflect upon the actions and the choices that cause the blaze. Take responsibility and do what you need to do to cool the anger and frustration so that you don't go setting any more fires or burning any more bridges. Interesting, Gemini. So maybe you're having to let something run its course. What it kind of feels like this is the energy of the Kundalini coming from the root chakra, which is interesting. It could be tied to anger, right? Like, because there's this something about like your emotions are tied to this situation. Anger about a certain situation, perhaps? Okay, so you have 3 cards coming out next. Sky, Storm, and Sun. Water, Spring, and Earth. And Fire, Candle, Earth. This one threw me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe there's some anger, maybe anger that's directed towards you that you weren't expecting. It kind of feels like this might be an energy of that feels kind of like it feels challenging. Of course, that's a really tough description to come out as well. Maybe there's something about burning bridges that you're fearful of. Again, it's kind of like that energy of like fearing of rejection. Maybe you have burned a bridge and it's like it's too late to go back to that, or it's like something about This is coming through with an energy of destructive fire. Destructive fire is what's coming through. Because now I'm seeing the elephant card in the Oracle, Animal Oracle Wild Unknown deck, the elephant card, which can talk about sort of like destroying obstacles. Maybe there's something of an obstacle that you're trying to destroy. Because it's kind of like there's something here about with the stone and the gem, right? There's some sort of like mask here, maybe. And mask doesn't feel like the right word, not in the traditional sense, but there's something that is masking the gem. That's what it is. There's something that's masking the gem. So it's like this energy of like trying to destroy through fire, maybe, the thing that is masking the gem within yourself. But somehow it does kind of feel like it has like, can you hear that bird outside? It feels kind of like there's a tie to like particular relationships or bridges that are masking an aspect of yourself that is trying to break free. Okay. Sky, Storm, and Sun. You, my love, have been through it, braving the challenges, navigating the chaos, and sidestepping people's misdirected energies has left you depleted and exhausted. You have maintained your power and your integrity, supported by the grace of the spirits and the divine light inside of you. But you are tired and you are run down, and now it is time to replenish. Trust in the light that has guided you through so much turmoil. Know that this light is bright enough and powerful enough to wash away the pain and to heal the wounds of the past. Allow the light to purify your weary soul and to transmute your hurt into triumph as you stand renewed in the center of all things unknown. Yeah, it kind of feels like there's, I don't think this is yours, Gemini. If it is, it's something where it's like you're destroying anything that is keeping some aspect of your light from shining is how it's coming through. You're destroying something that's keeping your light from shining. So just being conscious of like it is feeling kind of like using fire to dismantle or destroy something. Just being conscious of that, though. of being, because this card to come out is confirming to me that there's something beneficial about that energy that's helping you. Because the first card I pull, the way that I'm organizing the spread, the first card I pull is an energy from spirit. An energy from spirit that is coming in to support you. And so that's how it's coming through, which is interesting. A destructive fire that is coming in to support you, because it's kind of like what I'm seeing here is that a destructive fire energy is coming in to destroy the thing that is surrounding the gem. The gem will not be harmed by the fire, is how it's coming through. The gem will not be harmed by the fire, but there's perhaps worry about that, right? Like worry about whatever this gem is to you. I don't know exactly what it is for you specifically. But anyways, there's something here about like having to wait something out. This energy maybe. Having to wait out something so that you don't get burned, or so that like whatever it is, whatever the situation might be too fiery for you to step into at the moment. So it's like you have to wait it out. But this card is saying that you have done that. There's a strength there of like having gone through some sort of sidestepping people's misdirected energies and maintaining your power and your integrity through whatever this situation is how it's coming through. Okay. There's something here about 54 and 32. Well, the difference there is 22, right? And then the difference between 32 and 20 is 12. Anyways. Okay. So the next card is water, spring, and earth. Even though magic is real, and trust me, my love, it most certainly is, nothing on this planet emerges from nothing. Everything that we see and everything that we experience here on earth is an outpouring from someone else. It sounds so simple, and yet it is unimaginably profound. All that you consider yours came from another. The chair you're sitting on, someone else made that. And someone else chopped down the wood that was used to construct it. And someone else made the screws that hold the pieces of that chair in place. And someone else forged the metal that make those screws, while another person mined that metal from the earth, which gave the person the material to mold into screws to build things for other people to sit on. Everything on this earth is a synthesis of other people's manifestations and hard work. Recognize the effort and the collaboration that has gone into everything that you have and use and love. Honor the ones who have poured their gifts into your life. Yeah. This is an energy of co-creation, right? Co-creation. That everything in our universe right now is a co-creation with others. I feel like, Gemini, there's this energy here of like, you have, in order to find this gem, you have to go into a place of the rough energy. And I feel like there's something about like, like perhaps resisting that. Like there's something about, there's an interesting energy here about like group dynamics of self versus other. And perhaps there's just like, especially if it's like you have to go into a group where there are a lot of like, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of projection, there's a lot of misguided energies or anxiety that doesn't belong to you, or just like energies that are tough to deal with. But it feels like that's where you find your gem. because everything is a co-creation, including this energy, which I feel like is something that is actually, okay. There's an energy here. I almost said there's an enemy. There might be an enemy. I don't know. There might be something that you are trying to battle, is how it's coming through. And I feel like maybe there's, again, with the solar plexus and the heart and the throat, it could be something about like expressing something of the heart, right? But that there might be fear about who it is witnessed by. With this eye here, right? It's kind of like Lord of the Rings. Like this, oh my god. Okay, this looks definitely like almost like the tower where Sauron's eye sort of sits in. There's this fear of being witnessed, it feels like, by an energy that you might see as being as harmful, or perhaps this is a bridge that you have burned. Like, it's like a bridge that you've burned, but somehow they're still witnessing you in some way, and there might be sort of like a resistance towards letting this aspect of yourself, the gem, shine, because it would be visible to whoever this is, or whatever this is. So I'm going to read this card in response to that. Fire, candle, and earth. The flame from one candle can be used to light 100 more. This is how a single light illuminates many. Do you see where I'm going with this? In order to create the change that this world is calling for, it is time for you to shine brightly and to share your light and to ignite the flame of awakening in others. You, yes, you are a leader, born from the flame of truth and forged with the courage and the strength to do what you came to this planet to do. Live giant, light the flames of others, and be a leader of legacy. The time is now. Okay, Gemini, there is something here about like having courage to face something that I feel like it's like this energy is, it is kind of feeling like a bridge that you've burned. Or that maybe not you have burned, but a bridge that has been burned. That you are perhaps shielding yourself from in whatever way. Or trying to sidestep is how it's coming through. Trying to avoid this energy. This is a co-creation as well, is what's coming through. This energy, because it does feel like a divine energy, which is interesting. It's a divine energy that has destructive fire attached to it that is actually igniting here some aspect within yourself. This energy is a divine energy sent by spirit. It feels like controversial, I know, but it feels like it's an energy that is trying to get this part of you out into the light, is how it's feeling. The gem. It's trying to get this gem out of you. It's time for that. I feel like you're being asked to take some sort of like stance or like a leadership position in something. And this energy, whatever this like destructive fire is pulling this out of you. Okay. Land, tree, and star. Sounds so pretty. Okay. It is rare to find a single tree standing all alone in nature. Trees are communal. They live together in vast social networks through which they relate and communicate. The moment has come for you to spread your own branches and to connect with others who share similar dreams and visions. Now is the time to network and to link up with other leaders who are inspired to make the world giant. Open yourself to receive the wisdom of others and to allow their perspectives to help you grow and expand. At the same time, be generous with your own knowledge and with all that life has taught you thus far. Your wisdom and your experience are meant to help others on their own path. There's... Because this card kind of is coming through with this energy of like endurance, rock. There's a card in the other elementals deck that has a tree standing alone that is protected from outside influences. I feel like there's something here for you, Gemini, of like maybe you have been doing a lot of things by yourself. It's time to share that knowledge with others, because it's kind of like... okay. Because it's kind of the way that this description is coming through, right? The trees that are connected by like a social network, right? It's actually coming through as being like that trees are connected through subterranean, like the root systems that are underground. Because I'm thinking about like redwoods now, like redwood trees, which are the tallest trees that we have. They're so massive, but their root structure is actually quite shallow for one individual tree. What makes them strong and what makes them able to grow to that size is that all the roots are connected beneath the surface. So it creates almost like this like massive network underground that makes this energy stronger, even though individually a redwood tree would not be able to stand based on the shallow root system it has independently, if that makes sense. So there's something here about like sharing your information with others helps to make not only you stand stronger, but the whole group to stand stronger. There's something about like, yes, Gemini, acknowledging that you are very strong independently, but it's time now to share that information with others is how it's coming through. There's a resistance there though, because it kind of feels like something that you have to fight for. Like you have, like... Anyways, I was talking about the root structure and I got sidetracked. There's so much information coming through where like trees can share information, one tree to another, through this root system about potential dangers, about threats and things like that. Like they share information through the network about like, I don't know if it's like a parasite or something like that like, can damage trees and it spreads as well. So one tree that gets affected by it spreads the information, and then the rest of the trees in the network sort of build up like protective mechanisms to prevent the spread of the parasite or disease or whatever. It's kind of coming through like that, Gemini. So maybe it's something where it's like information is getting to you in some way in order to protect yourself from a potentially harmful influence in your environment, which is interesting. This energy in the environment, it's something that feels kind of like nature, like the destructive forces of nature, where it's like that could potentially cause damage or harm or whatever, that is being shared with you, Or that if you know of an energy like this, that you are supposed to share that information with others, is how it's coming through. But there may be fear about that, because it kind of feels like it's something that you would have to really fight for, is how it's coming through. You would really have to fight for this energy. Like, fight to defend something or to protect something that is precious. Like, it kind of feels like you're having to fight or defend something that is precious, that has the potential to be perhaps harmed or seen in a really negative light. There's an eye here that is like... I feel like for you, Gemini, there's an energy of like a disruption to your peace that I feel like is like, it's like you have to fight for something. Lots of fire in your energy today. So you have fire, tribal fire, and moon. Feathers could be a really significant symbol for you. It might also be fighting, so to speak, for like defending your boundaries. Because the song Feather by Sabrina Carpenter is coming through, which is something about like a burned bridge, right? Like something that you have cut out of your life, something that has been very not dependable, not reliable, that you have perhaps cut from your life. And having to like fight to defend that boundary that you've put up, right? Like to not allow that energy to affect you. Feels like this. Anyways, okay. Fire, tribal fire, moon. Sacred communication weaves connection within the tribe. Communication becomes sacred when we speak from the heart instead of speaking from the mind. Words spoken from the heart activate the green flame that connects us all. Words spoken from the heart spark remembrance of our unity. Words spoken from the heart heal and activate, inspire, and harmonize. Give voice to your emotions with language sourced from your heart. It's not about sounding smart or educated or grammatically stylish. It's about being true. Give true... Now my reading skills are struggling for this one about communication. Give voice to your truth and your vulnerability in service to that great flame of unity, such that it may burn brighter, warming not just you, but your friends, your family, your community, and your soul tribe. Gemini, it's because this energy of Mercury that was coming through, you and Virgo, right? There's something about you having to speak about something, like communicate about something, that comes from the heart. But I feel like, which is really interesting, because it feels like it's getting stuck in the solar plexus. Your willpower, your drive, your belief in yourself about being able to do something, your confidence, that kind of thing, it's getting all tied up in that. So even though, like, and trusting in yourself, because it feels like you have this desire that feels kind of like it's coming from the root and trying to move up, like it is part of like your, it feels like a Kundalini awakening in some way. It doesn't have to be that exactly, but some sort of like feeling of knowing something that is right or something that you have to defend, or something where it's like there's, if we're using that metaphor with the tree, right? Something that could potentially harm the big collective if you don't speak up about it, but not believing in yourself, maybe, that you can do this, or that like you're being asked to take some position of leadership, Gemini, in order to defend something or stand up for something, or say no to something, maybe, and say yes to something else. Like it kind of is coming through with both. Saying no to one thing, saying yes to another. It's about making a choice here. Yeah, like feathers and salamanders, interesting, are coming through. I feel like there's a lot of inspiration here. So, like, you're being inspired to do something is how it's coming through. You have love and power at the bottom of the deck. There are 3 cards in this deck. These are 2 of them that represent Trinity cards, which are kind of, I'm gonna read the love card because it talks about, like, anyways, let me just read the description. These 3 cards, the last one is wisdom, are 3 main themes that human beings incarnate to learn about. So you have love and power, which is a really interesting dynamic. So love is at the bottom of the deck, so I'll read that one. When you draw the love card, you know the card is speaking to your soul's journey in the ways of the heart. The love card is about operating from the heart, leading from the heart, and walking what my ancestors called the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is guided by expansion and flow. It is about connecting authentically from a place of true freedom, true sovereignty, and true liberation. A lot of people like to think the love card is about their soulmate or their twin flame or some Disney fairy tale happily ever after romance kind of thing. Except that's all matrix programming that tries to convince people that love is something outside of themselves that they have to chase, that they have to cling to, that they have to jump through hoops to obtain and earn and keep and be worthy of. This is false, and this is a trap that has nothing to do with love or with the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is about being fully expressed and fully experienced and allowing others to be fully expressed and fully experienced without rules or regulations or restrictions or judgment or preference or expectation or hesitation or constriction. This theme is about loving for the sake of loving because you are love. Gemini. I feel like there's something here about I'm going to pull one more card. This card is the one that's difficult, is how it's feeling. Like, that's the one that there's resistance about. It feels like fear of something external to you. That may come with an energy of anger. Yeah. Fire, volcano, sun, and water, river, moon. Which is interesting. I feel like there's some sort of lesson here about love and loving yourself. Yeah, okay. This is that Kundalini energy. So it says there is a whole world inside of you that is pulsing and throbbing and aching for expression. What are you waiting for, child? Release the limitations that are holding you back from expressing the fullness of your majesty and your uniqueness. Give yourself permission to be the empowered, leader that you are, without submission, guilt, or shame. You didn't come to this planet to dim your light or quiet your voice or be an obedient little sheep. Just because the people surrounding you are playing small doesn't mean you're supposed to follow them. You, my dear, are meant to show them a better way, a more authentic way, a more expressed way. Lead by example. Let your creativity explode like a great and mighty volcano of love and beauty and magic. Release what is wanting to come forth and claim your role as a creator. Let this burst of creativity erupt and inspire others to do the same. Gemini, something inside of you is wanting to be free. And there's a lot of change coming through to help you release that, is kind of coming through. Like it's, change is coming through. That's what this is. Change is coming through. Feels kind of like fire. A destructive fire energy is coming through to help you to release something of a limitation that you might have of yourself. Feels like solar plexus energy. So there may be something about believing in yourself or confidence or willpower or taking action or creating something or leading your life perhaps with the sense of like knowing that you can do whatever it is that is facing you at the moment, whatever challenge it is that it is facing you at the moment. It's a challenge in order to get you to shine. Okay, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.